Hello everyone, welcome to our guide to Stix on Mythic difficulty. So I made a little raid plan here, and we're gonna start the boss here between star and green. We'll have these markers up from the start of the fight. And then we will have a gateway from star to the middle of the arena. So we pull the boss there, we bloodlust and pull. Then we get a very first trash sorting. And for trash sorting, it's always going to pick one tank. It's going to be the same tank all the time. And then it can pick melee, ranged, and healers in any combination. I think it will max put one healer, but I'm not sure. And these people will get assigned with the Northern Sky Weaker pack to one quadrant of the room. So the logic is that the tank will always be assigned to the right of the boss. So the boss will start, like, if the boss is here, then the tank will be assigned to the green marker. Melee will, if melee gets assigned, they will start getting assigned to star. So star is the melee prio, then orange, and then purple. In that order is melee, ranged, and healers. It could be 2 melee, it could be 2 ranged, so it's possible that the ranged gets star here, and it's possible that the melee gets orange or purple even, I'm not sure. But that's logic, so from left to right, we have melee, ranged, and healers, and tank always the rightmost one. So, a few things will spawn when the trash spawns. There will be trash piles all across this room. I have not added those to the raid plans. These bombshells, like you know from Heroic, spawns on top of some trash piles as well. And after the nerfs, they detach from the trash piles at 80%. So we need to nuke them down quickly to get them below 80% so they get away from the trash piles. And then use scripts and everything to just get them under the boss and AoE them down together with the hyenas that spawn. All this should be happening towards the inside of the room. So we leave this area here towards the outside, clear from any ads. I'll go more into that later. So what you do when you get the ball? On the very first set, we'll just have 2 scrap masters and 1 bomb. It's like a bit of a tutorial. So if you have a scrap master in your quadrant, you have to run over it once your ball is medium, because it starts a channel on one member of the raid that if it finishes casting, then that player will die. So if you have a scrap master in your little quadrant, like star quadrant, anything from like there, then you are responsible for running over it. And if you have a bomb in your quadrant, then you are responsible for soaking it. Obviously, there could be scenarios where a bomb, like if this bomb here just spawns a little bit closer to here, then maybe it's in purple, maybe it's in orange. Either you guys communicate, like orange says, I got this bomb, or just both go for it, and whoever doesn't get it runs into the boss. But let's try to communicate this well, so that we always get all the bombs. Don't just assume that someone else will take it if it's not that clear. When we run into the bombs, like I said, we tank all the ads. When we run into the boss, we tank all the ads towards the middle, and the balls will come in from the outside. And, well, 1 bomb will also, for this set, run into this bomb over here. To make sure that we have this, then the tank that is tanking the boss and not rolling around will be facing the boss towards this area and try to have a threat on all these things. And we'll use grips and knocks and things like that. We also can use Ring of Peace, like putting just a Ring of Peace towards the edge here, then making sure that nothing is there. To try to control these ads as much as possible. One thing that is worth keeping in mind is that just because you've run over the scrap masters, that does not mean that they're dead. They will be deposited when you either run into the boss with your orb or you run into the bomb with your orb, and they'll also get a debuff making them take more damage after that happens. If one gets deposited into melee, then no big problem. We'll just cleave it down with the rest and just keep interrupting it. we will have assigned interrupts on all of these Scrapmasters. If you, however, were on one of the balls running into a bomb far away, then we'll need to be sure that we're getting ranged interrupts on this Scrapmaster, so it goes into melee, and also getting grips to help get it in to the boss. Once that is done, the boss will go into the overdrive. Well, we'll get some other minor mechanics, but then eventually he'll go into the overdrive, fly around, and then he'll land on the biggest clump of players. So we will all stack up on star. He'll do the little circle there, we take a gateway, away, and then the real fight begins. So we start with spreading for circles with the boss on star where he landed. We will move the boss roughly like 3/4 towards green. So he's positioned here for when he does the sorting. And all the sortings from now on will look the exact same. We'll get 5 bombshells instead of 3. And we'll have 4 Scrapmasters total, 1 in each quadrant. And we will have 2 bombs. That means that whenever you are assigned to do a ball, you have to, at the very least, get 1 Scrapmaster. There will always be a Scrapmaster somewhere around in your quadrant that you will have to take. And if there's a bomb, then that means you have to take both a Scrapmaster and a bomb. It is also quite important that we actually do try to make sure that these balls that do not take a bomb actually makes it into the boss, because the majority of our damage to the boss will actually come from these balls running into him, so very important. Also, there may be bombshells that spawn very far away. The idea with doing this thing here is to burn the trash over here, then move away from it, so we get fresh trash over here, which means that we have a higher chance of bombshells spawning close to us, because they always spawn on the trash. But depending a bit on RNG, and if we're bad with boss positioning, or if we accidentally burnt any trash, we may get bombshells further away. In this case, it's very important that ranged turns around and actually runs this down to 80%, so it detaches from the trash, so we can get it in to under the boss. After that entire thing is handled, we spread the circles on green, just like we did on star, and then we run the boss over like 75% towards purple, and then sorting starts again, and then the boss kind of repeats from there. We'll do 1 sort here, then we run over here, we do the fire circles over by purple, we do all the sorting there, we run over towards orange, we stop 3/4 on the way there, do the sorting, we do another one here, we do another one here, and finally the last sorting will happen once we're like over back towards purple again. And the weak aura that assigns quadrants is not smarter than it will assume. It will assume that we're going to these directions. So that means that on this last one, if the boss, instead of being here, would be like over here, it would still think, well, tank is going furthest right, so it will assign tank to purple, even though the boss is now over here. Or even worse, if it's like over here, it will still assign tank to purple. So it's a bit important that we keep this in mind, and if we do move the boss too much, that people are aware of that if I'm a tank, it actually means I need to go back to this quadrant here. Then I also just want to show a few clips of ball rolling we have from Liquid here. This is the very first ball of the fight. So you can see that fired up here gets he's assigned to purple, and then his quadrant here on the first in the first does not have anything in it, so all he's doing is just clearing. This is actually a thing that's also worth noticing. You can use both the walls of the arena, these little pylons here, and like medium trash piles if you use a small ball to just like stop and turn in place like that. So you don't need to like roll and take a, so you can take a sharper turn by bumping into things. So you can see how here is bumping into the wall to turn quicker. So do not be afraid of using the wall and the environment around you. And as you can see here, they're going in from the edge of the room, while all of that trash is over here. While all of the ads are over there. Then we have another clip from Northern Sky, and that's the weaker we are going to use as well. So people are aware of how that's gonna look. So here we have the boss between orange and star. So the tank is going to get signed to orange, melee is gonna be on purple, and so on. So this demon hunt will get it, and the weaker will look like this. Now it will say what color quadrant you are assigned to, and it will also point you roughly towards that direction. These pointers are assuming that you're looking at the boss. So if this guy was looking at the boss right now, this mark would point towards purple. So then, as soon as you get it, just align yourself and get prepared. So you don't get surprised by once you turn into the ball. So he knows where he's gonna get it. He's already standing here, looking where he's going to go. And then immediately, bam, picking up 2 trashes, because he's already prepared. So that's very good. Then just as soon as he's got a medium bomb, he picks up his Scrapmaster. He doesn't have bomb in his quadrant. But he turns around here because he notices that these bombshells are not being very well controlled. He still almost hits one, but still the idea is still the same, that just avoiding these bombshells. We also will have a weak aura that I've already linked that tells you where they are easily. Alright, that's pretty much everything for this fight. So if you have any questions, just ask me. Else, no, that's it for today. See ya.